This is my 1971 Chevy Nova. It's got a 383 Chevy small block and a turbo 350 automatic transmission. All right, we have the new Street Demon carburetor from Demon Carbs, and their claim with this carburetor is that you can have your car running well inside of 30 minutes. So we're gonna give it a try. So the carburetor that's on the car now, spent a lot of time adjusting and messing with trying to get it right and ready for the street. And we've heard that the new Street Demon carburetor is out of the box, ready to roll, low maintenance, and very street friendly. Initially what we did for the install was we took the linkage loose, removed all the vacuum lines and hoses, unhooked the wires to the electric choke, and unbolted the base of the carburetor. The Street Demon is a 625 CFM carb with electric choke that has a dual bolt pattern. It's got a single fuel inlet, small primaries for quick response, and a large vacuum-operated goggle valve secondary for increased airflow when you match the throttle. The integrated fuel bowl and main body design eliminates fuel leaks from the body, and it comes in several finishes, including fully polished. The transfer slot adjustment is one of those things that's forgotten a lot by those installing new carburetors. It's something that doesn't get set from the factory, and it's almost always off. The transfer slots are what helps your carburetor make the transition from idle to wide open throttle smoothly without hesitation. Simply adjust the fast idle screw at the choke side and turn that until that slot looks more like a tiny little square on the bottom side of the butterflies on the primaries. The new carburetor has the dual bolt holes for either the spread bore or the square bore carburetors. Mine had the square bore intake manifolds on it, so everything lines up really nice. Outwardly, there's only 4 adjustment screws. There's the fast idle screw on the choke, there's the curb idle screw on the throttle linkage side, and then there's 2 idle mixture screws on the front of it. Otherwise, there's no float bowls or anything. It's all internal in the carburetor. There's no jets to change. It's very simple in design. I run a mechanical fuel pump on this car, so it was just a matter of adding a little extra length of hose in terms of hooking up the actual fuel line. They include a barbed fitting for the fuel line. They also have a flare nut fitting if you prefer to run a hard line, and a flare nut, so you can go either way there. They include different types of ball ends or fittings for different types of throttle linkages. I just selected the one that matched what was on my old carburetor to hook up my accelerator linkage. Everything that you needed seemed to be included in the kit. It started right up once the carburetor was primed with fuel. Once I got the idle up to where I felt it needed to be, we ended up taking it for a drive. It's very smooth, and I can tell it's a smaller carburetor, but it's not bad. I don't mean that in a bad way, it reacts different to what I've been used to, but it's far smoother. Initially, from the stop, rolling into the throttle, it's very smooth. At a nice cruising speed, I got into the throttle pretty hard, and it woke right up. You could feel the secondaries open very smoothly. And we made absolutely 0 adjustments to the idle mixture screws that are on the front of the carburetor. They're the only 2 screws that you can access once the carburetor's installed on the car. There's the 2 idle mixture screws, and then there's the curb idle screw. The 2 idle mixture screws we haven't touched, and this thing has run flawlessly since we mounted the car onto this engine. And we were able to install and drive it within Demon's half an hour claim.